We're going to have a conversation. I'm going to say a couple of phrases and you are going to respond to them. This is something that Poor Ali, a famous hip-hop artist and public speaker, did in one of his TED Talks. Okay, if you are a student of St. Joseph's Institution, clap your hands. Thank you. If you speak 2 or more languages, wave your right hand. Kita akan melakukan eksperimen kecil di sini. Saya ingin Anda untuk melihat orang di sebelah dan teriak, hello! Hello! Okay. Thank you. If you were a bit taken aback from that, I was speaking with the Malay-speaking population here to look at the person beside them and shout, hello! Yeah, I know that wasn't very nice, but listen to this. What they experienced was belonging and inclusiveness. Because when I spoke that language, it automatically connected us and binded us. Those who did not understand what I was saying, you may have understood what it feels like to be isolated, to be excluded. Vous avez probablement entendu cela beaucoup dans la classe de français. Levez-vous. Asseyez-vous. Merci. Okay. If you heard laughter and saw people standing up, it was the French-speaking population who understood what I was saying and were probably laughing at my enunciation. Monsieur Houston, je suis désolé. Okay, moving on. So what was the whole point of this? In these 2 examples, I've demonstrated 2 really important sentiments. Let's talk about words and actions first. My dad always tells me this, amongst like a lot of other things he likes to nag at me about. If you keep thinking or saying something is going to end badly, chances are it probably is. And I think this is very true. When you wake up on a Monday morning, you just wish you had a fever, didn't have to lock yourself to school to sit for that math test you were so not anticipating. Then while you were getting ready at home, you stubbed your toe, and then later at breakfast, you spilled your Milo, and then your mother is staring at you, and you're just like, it's gonna be a bad day today. And I assure you, everything for the rest of the day will seem sour to you. Now, I'm not going to talk about finding happiness in Monday mornings. I hate them as much as you may do. But this is what I'd like you to think about. I want you to think about how the words we say impact and shape ourselves. Words that inspire us and haunt us. Words that we wish were said. Words that we wish we never said. Words we want to hear and words we never want to hear. I think of words as something that commands action. When I invited you to do the actions you did earlier, you did, and thank you so much for participating. So, words inspire action. Words dictate action. And so I say words speak louder than action. And that is what spoken word poetry is. A platform to express and to empower, to bind and to connect, to isolate and to desolate. Now, moving on to my next point on exclusion. Those of you who did not understand what I was saying when I was speaking in Malay and French, you may have understood what isolation and exclusion feels like. Now, I'd just like everybody here to take a moment and blow this concept of separation and stillness to a much larger scale. Think about a time you felt unwanted, unloved, excluded, unsought. Think about a time you were left out of something you wanted to be a part of. Think about a time you were separated from someone you loved. Think about the times you cried but nobody was there to comfort you. Think about the times you tried to speak but the words just wouldn't come out. Think about the times you were screaming but no one heard, no one cared. Silence is not the absence of sound. Silence is the loathsome inclination towards isolation, desperation unheard by ignorance. Silence is the voice of the unloved, the unwanted, the excluded. Silence is the voice of the children of war. Then again, silence is the complete disregard for all their cries, for all the bombs shining like raindrops in the skies, taking away that child's dreams in a blink of an eye. Silence is a mask, a forgery of acquaintances, connections, and relations. Silence is our voice too. The same language instead of connecting us and binding us, segregate us, separate us. Same language, just different axes, different assets. As the shells fall, as her mother lay sprawled, she thinks to herself how she was once admired, now undesired, uninspired, just lonely fragments in a briar patch of false assurances, an immaterial, irrelevant presence. Gone are the days of her iridescence. She sits alone, cracked on the outside, wounded on the inside. Her hopes, her dreams, her friends, her family, her city, her country, gone. And in the next flash, she'll be gone too, forgotten but remembered as a body bag among 10 other thousands. Wake up, little girl. Wake up, you. While we sat on our couch, while we sat reclining on our couches at home, on our phones, retweeting all lives matter, the children of war continue to suffer. Cold, hungry, orphaned, unsafe. Did you really need all that food? Did you really need all that money too? Couldn't you have shared? Wasn't there $1 you would spare? You're delusional, believing that this life is nothing but a passing dream, enjoyment, amusement and play, pastimes and pleasures that are destined to fade away, left us all deceived, thinking that all our lives are the same? You're wrong. See, every time I hear her scream on the screen, this rough breathing is unceasing. Switch the channels, please. I mean, I really need to sleep this evening. I mean, how can I eat while I watch her bleeding? I mean, how can I laugh while I watch her crying? So if I hear her screaming just one more time, I'd rather it be me than her mother who died. God have mercy. Oh God, I seek justice. Screams that little girl we ignored. From the community that had forsaken me despite all the times I had called. I roared and I implored. Oh God, I seek justice. Screams that little girl we ignored. You are my witness. I could not take it anymore. I was cold and clothless as I slept, naked on the floors. Oh God, I seek justice. Screams that little girl we ignored. From the facade they put on, a complete disregard. So if you know what isolation feels like, know that there's people needing your support. No water, no bread, and no baby milk. I'm pleading. Bind us. Speak against this silence. Thank you.